Good morning. It is always a great day here in the 17th District, and it's my honor and privilege to welcome you here. I know my alderman always says that, it's a great day in the 9th Ward, but this is also the 17th District. It is, to be here, I wish you could see what I see. The beauty of this room, the amazing people in this room who are standing up and saving lives across this community, across this city, and across this state. What a difference a governor makes. Can we give it up for our governor again? And he didn't tell you, but soon after governor got elected and we started talking about where we were going to go with violence interruption and violence prevention, we started to talk about how we address violence prevention in the state of Illinois. And during those conversations, we talked about looking at gun violence as the public health crisis that it is. Well, he didn't just talk about it. Governor Pritzker took action. He passed an executive order declaring gun violence a public health crisis in the state of Illinois. That set us on a path where we could then discuss and debate and figure out how we're going to put resources into preventing gun violence in the state of Illinois. So that 41% reduction in gun violence across the state of Illinois that Northwestern talked about, think about it. Think about the hundreds of lives that have been saved, the thousands of families that have been impacted, the folks who are sitting back today and they have a loved one. And I have I know we all have the stories, and for our violence interrupters, you have done this work over and over again. I remember a story, and it has never left me, about the work that you do. We had a young person who ended up in our office. He had come into and run into some problems, and he didn't want to fight. He didn't want to end up as another statistic, and he was afraid. What did we do? We called our violence interrupters. We reached out. We said, we need your help. And within not days, not within hours, within minutes, we have folks at our office taking him under their wing, making sure they understood the situation and making sure he was safe. Today, that young man is in college. That's a life that you have turned around. That's a life that you have spared and made sure that he's there to make a difference for his community. There's an African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, you go alone. If you want to go far, you go together. We're going far because we're going together. And I thank you, and God bless you. And next, my partner in progress, Representative Justin Slaughter.
All right. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It is indeed just a great honor to be here. We don't take this lightly at all. Many of us know when the numbers are bleak, everybody wants to talk, right? When the numbers are bleak, it garners so much attention. When we set out on this mission, we all asked ourselves, will credit be given due when we do accomplish our goals, when we do achieve our goals? And so this is a special recognition. We certainly appreciate all the work. And let me just say, this is a moment to thank all of you, the CVI heroes that are at the ground level doing the great work. It's because of your dedication, your commitment, and your sacrifice that we've been able to achieve our goals. So for one more time, can you give yourselves just a big round of applause? Certainly want to thank all the elected officials. We're in the 17th District and 9th Ward, but one of my aldermen, Alderman Beal, for hosting us today. Also, our good friend Alderman Chico, who's here. And of course, the mayor of the greatest freaking city in the world. I've been dying to say that, Mr. Mayor. But I also want to highlight these two gentlemen that are here standing behind me. When COVID hit, Senator Peters and Senator Sims and I, we rolled up our sleeves. We said this is a crossroads moment. We have to do something. Too much whom is given, much is expected. So we collaborated to get the Safety Act across the line. Many of you have heard about this. This is about safety, accountability, fairness, and equity. It accomplished a lot of about what we wanted to do in regards to equity, but also we said, hey, look, we have to do more in terms of the resources that we're putting forth for CVI work. We have to do more to address this crisis. What turned into a brief conversation in the hallways of the Capitol is now a national model called the Reimagine Public Safety Act initiative. And I just want to thank these two. It's been a blessing working with these great elected officials. I also want to take a moment to highlight the leadership of the best governor in America, Governor J.B. Pritzker. Senator Sims had mentioned this. I believe the governor mentioned it as well. It's important that we remember the governor declared crime and violence a public health crisis back in, I believe it was 2021. What that meant was not just throwing anything at the wall and saw what would stick. It meant looking at the root causes of crime, the root causes of violence. And it was through this effort that we were able to really turn the corner and launch what I consider a national model. Just to give you a little bit more about why this has worked, there's been three major pillars of our efforts. One is intergovernmental partnerships. When we knock on doors or when constituents come through our offices, they just want crime and violence to stop. They don't care if it's your alderman, your congressman, your state legislator. It was important that we join all of our forces together. You see the mayor here. You see the governor here. I also want to lift up the efforts of Cook County Board President Tony Prewinkle as well. We needed to show, yes, give her a round of applause. It was important that we show a unified front. If we weren't unified, how are our community partners, the private sector, going to engage and be enthusiastic and encouraged if we weren't showing togetherness? So one of the pillars of this is intergovernmental partnerships, all the elected officials from every level of government coming together. The second is best practices. What works? What works? What you saw up here just moments ago was our Peacekeepers initiative. Anybody familiar with FLIP? This is an acronym for, let me not get it wrong, Flatlining Violence Inspires Peace. National model work. We want to be fiscally responsible. If we're putting resources towards this, what is going to be a best practice for others to follow? FLIP has just been an amazing initiative, and we really want to lift up the leadership of Arnie Duncan and CRED as it relates to rolling out FLIP. The third big pillar is just innovative ideas and innovative partnerships. What we did with Medicaid reform, right? Now Medicaid can be used for CVI work. What we've done with our corporate sector, with our SC2 initiative, we're now engaging and partnering with the private sector on job training, job opportunities. This is a game changer as it relates to addressing CVI and violence reduction. These are our three big pillars when you talk about the Reimagine Public Safety Act. The governor just talked about it. Our work isn't done. We still have a long way to go. The White House is not going to do us any favors. Pressure is about to be turned up economically, socially, economically. We must continue to stay together, stay unified as we push forward. With that said, I'm excited to continue to collaborate and push forward here. You can't do this without partners. I want to bring up my brother from the South Side, a leader in this space, State Senator Peters. I almost forgot your name.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I just want to say, this is such a beautiful room. This is my Chicago. When Donald Trump and Elon Musk attack our city and our state, they're attacking each and every one of us. And it ticks me off because when I see this room, I see how beautiful our city and state is. You know, we're having a conversation about ending violence, and we're using a lot of data, a lot of statistics, a lot of science. We know what ends violence. It's actually kind of simple. You give someone a good job, you give someone good health care, you give someone housing, you make it so they can go from point A to point B easily, you give them good schools, you give them food in their belly, you give them love. That is public safety. That is what we're fighting for. That is what we're doing. And you heard from the governor. What they're doing in DC is a public safety threat. They're attacking our health care. They're attacking our jobs. They're attacking our housing. They're attacking each and every one of us. And then you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna turn around and blame us. We need each other in this moment. This work is about community. It's about each and every one of us. And so I want you to know that for all of us be right here, standing here and sitting here today, we have your back. We're with you. I'll end on this. The problem is you give a politician a mic, they can talk for like 2 hours. So I'll end on this. Look, I may walk in front of you, but you may not follow. I may walk behind you, and I may not follow. But what I will say is I'm going to walk with each and every one of you side by side in solidarity. And I believe that in every zip code, in every corner of this state, in this beautiful place, that we need each other, and I have your back because I know you have my back. Thank you.
Thanks to all of our state leaders, and we literally would not be here without their support. This work does nothing if it doesn't humble you. None of us can do this work by ourselves. We have to work with huge urgency, but also huge humility. You've heard repeatedly the federal government's not going to be a player here. If anything, they're going to hurt us. But having the state, having the city have our back gives us a chance to do what we need to do. It's up to us to do the work. I quickly want to thank CPD, Deputy Director Waller. Please stand. Round of applause for him. Glenn Brooks is standing in the back here. Glenn. Historically, I understand it, there's been tremendous distrust between the police and between this kind of work. But they have a role to play and we have a role to play and we need each other. And thanks to your leadership, starting to build those bridges of trust has been hugely important. It's now my honor to introduce our mayor, Mayor Johnson. And this is not, give him a round of applause, that's good. This is not some intellectual issue for him. This is very visceral. From where he lives to where his children go to school, he's lived and faced these communities that unfortunately have led our city in violence. And he's absolutely personally committed to get us to a better place. And I want to commend him. Not too long ago, he set a goal of reducing homicides below 500. And it takes courage for a political leader to set goals because we may not make it, but we have to have something we're aiming for. And James said it earlier, I was born in 1964. Since 1965, we have not been below 400 homicides in the city my entire life. That's crazy. So we have to go from 900 down to 600. We got to get below 500, 400, 300. We got to get down to 150 to just be normal. To just be normal compared to New York and LA. But without a goal, without a vision, it's hard to get there. So Mayor Johnson, thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your courage. Please give him a round of applause.
Thank you, Arnie, for that introduction, and good morning to all of you. I'm truly honored to be here today with our governor, to all of our state officials, to the two colleagues that I get to work with on a regular basis, Alderman Chico of the 10th Ward, and to the mighty 9th Ward, Alderman Anthony Beal. Thank you all for your commitment to bringing forth a better, stronger, and a much safer Chicago. You know, this is Holy Week. This is an opportunity for us to reflect on the true righteous standard. And peacekeepers and violence interrupters, you are truly the balm at a time in which our city and our nation needs healing. So thank you for bringing healing to the greatest freaking city in the world, the city of Chicago. We are here to celebrate you today, the Peacekeepers program, because the work that you all are doing is effective and it's working. From the beginning of my administration, I've made it a top priority to reduce violence and crime in our city, to make it a safer place for everyone. I'm proud to say in the city of Chicago, crime is down. In fact, as I stand before you today, we have seen over a 23% decrease in homicides this year alone. In the month of April, homicides are down 67%. That does not happen without the partnership with violence interrupters, community members, as well as our police department. And while this is encouraging news, we know that any shooting or any death is one too many, as we still have a lot of work to be done. The Peacekeepers program has proven to be an effective tool for reducing violence, and it shows what can happen when we actually listen to one another and work with the community. The people working as peacekeepers are members of communities who best understand the inner workings of the neighborhoods, the violent hotspots, and how best to diffuse the tensions. And it is helping to establish and strengthen intentional and sustainable collaboration between government and community. This form of community violence intervention is an important pillar to the People's Plan for Community Safety Initiative, my administration's community safety strategy, where the People's Plan for Community Safety protects those most impacted by violence, while also preventing future violence through key investments and collaboration that is led by community members like you, that's ultimately supported by government. What we're seeing in the reduction in crime in the city today is because of that partnership. And I know we will continue to see violence decline as we continue to listen to one another, to make sure that the communities who are in need of investment, that we provide those investments. In fact, I'm very proud to shout out Good Kids, Mad City, an up-and-coming youth-led organization in which the city of Chicago will hire 100 peacekeepers for the next generation of violence intervention supports workers. So once again, I'm proud. I'm proud of the work that is being done by each and every one of you. I'm proud to offer my sincere, deepest appreciation for all of the work that you all are doing. The city of Chicago is grateful for the lives that you have saved. The state of Illinois is grateful for the lives that you have transformed. And Cook County is also grateful for the collaboration that we are doing to improve the quality of life of our residents. And in closing, I challenge all of us who are listening today. I want us to lean more into the strategies and the partnerships that are working. Let's keep supporting victims of crime. Let's keep supporting our young people. That is my highest priority. In fact, we have 29,000 positions for young people to work this summer to ensure that our young people can find their purpose. We will continue to build more affordable homes. We will continue to support mental health services. We've reopened 3 mental health clinics. We've expanded our care program so that when there are mental health crises, a paid professional who is trained to respond to that crisis can show up so that our police officers can show up for other violent areas. It's going to take all of us, you all, to continue to build an inclusive economy. And I just want to thank y'all for making a West Sider feel real good today. I just want to point out there's a lot of South Side energy up here. But aren't you glad the West Side, South Side, Southeast Side, Southwest Side, the North Side coming together to build a better, stronger, safer Chicago? God bless you all. Thank you.
So we just have a couple more speakers, and then at the end we're going to ask the peacekeepers to come back up and take a couple of pictures with all our elected officials and the governor and the mayor. And so I just want to quickly introduce Sharonda Giles, one of our beloved sisters, and definitely salute to all of the CPRU team. And Sharonda Giles and Rodney Phillips, they're leading an innovative strategy called CPRU in responding to crises across the city, including teen trends. And so definitely salute to Sharonda Giles. Where you at, sister?
I'm short, sorry. Good afternoon. So, I'm Sharonda Giles. I have the privilege of being the director of the Crisis Prevention and Response Unit. Hello, team. I'm so excited to be given this opportunity. For those of you who don't know, the Crisis Prevention and Response Unit has been serving the city of Chicago for almost 2 years now. We are a team made up of individuals from all across Chicago who made the decision to be dedicated to reducing violence and responding to crises throughout all communities. We build upon the FLIP and Peacekeeper model, but CPRU broadens that because they believe that regardless of neighborhood boundaries, that violence needs to be reduced. It's unique in the belief that we respond to mass shootings, civil unrest, and as you all know, the teen takeovers. During these moments, we are affectionately recognized as the orange people. But it also shows that we're visible. We're a reassuring presence that brings a sense of safety and care to the neighborhoods in distress, our neighborhoods. While the work is extremely dangerous, our team embraces it because they have a heart, they know it's vital, and it's life-saving. So when CPRU gets deployed, we focus absolutely on safety first, but we have three kind of key objectives, and that's to reduce arrests, to reduce victimizations, and to ensure that those people who need the resources get it. And since we've been around for about 2 years now, we've done a really good job of accomplishing that. Since the summer of 2023 up until December 2024, we've conducted over 62 deployments, and 82% of them resulted in 0 victimizations and 0 arrests. So give you guys, I love y'all. And I think that reflects the effectiveness of what we do and our commitment to advancing the city's violence prevention program. We know that the community needs to be healed, and we want to promote that peace across Chicago. So CPRU, we're going to keep doing what we do. I love y'all, and thank y'all so much for giving me the opportunity to speak about how amazing my team is. Love you.
All right, and a quick shout out again, Director Glenn Brooks and Waller, just really been supportive of FLIP, CPRU. So I want to introduce Brother Obadelli. Yes, indeed. And Brother Obadelli's been working for decades, fighting for our people. And so definitely want to appreciate the brother right here.
I appreciate it. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. On behalf of Activist Inc., LaVon Stone Sr., our CEO, I want to thank the mayor, the governor, and our legislators for the great partnership, but mainly our state elected officials for their funding of this Peacekeeper initiative. I want to thank Big John and all the activists, CVI, and FLIP workers that are out there. Shout out to all you guys. And because of the efforts of these people behind us, Mr. Mayor, we have mediated over 1,200 conflicts across the city of Chicago and Cook County. And because of these efforts, we want to look forward to continue to strengthen our relationship, working with CPD and all you guys out there in the community to make Chicago one of the safest, most safest freaking big cities in the nation. Thank you all.
Yes, indeed. So I want to invite our last speaker, my beloved sister Jackie Gamble, straight from 119th. Come on, sister. She's been with us for about 2.5 years. Powerful story. Please give her your undivided.
Thank you. Say the best for last, huh? That's fine. I've been a Robeson since '89. I was a victim of gun violence in 1997. I was shot 13 times. I wore a collide.
They can't hear you.
Oh, y'all couldn't hear me? All right, here we go. I've been in Roseland, West Pullman since 1989. I was a victim of gun violence in 1997. I was shot 13 times. I wore a colostomy bag for 2.5 years. Then we got the penitentiary that welcomed me with open arms in 2000. That one visit was enough for me to stay out of trouble for the past 25 years. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. When I once was the one that started the fires, I'm the one that's quick to put them out now. So I've been a peacekeeper, like he said, for 2.5 years. I've been with Flip. My hotspot, 119th in Michigan, is always live and vibrant right there on them four corners. Never a dull moment. But instead, you know what I'm saying, being a peacekeeper, it makes a big difference because we can gradually step in. We could diffuse, we could mediate, we could push forward instead of people being like combative and unapproachable. With me being a female, that's the perks that we get. They a little more, they welcome you with a little more ease. So we get things done, we get things accomplished. It'd be a positive and a constructive outcome with everything that we do. When you give the assurance and you can step in with the confidence, that gives the people of the community the assurance and the confidence as well. Therefore, Flip change lives, broaden horizons, give opportunities, also give people purpose and meanings. Flip changes a lot, which that's flatlining violence, inspiring peace. Therefore, the peacekeepers, they only ease things. So, with that being said, I want to thank all of y'all. I want to thank the mayor, the senators. I want to thank Jalen. I want to thank the aldermen. I want to thank the governor, of course. I want to thank the CVIs, and y'all know, of course, I'm with Flip. I'm with Cred, so Chicago Cred and Activists. Thank y'all.
I want to thank all of you for your patience. This was not a short program. I apologize for that, but it's a really important one. I say all the time, this is the hardest work I've ever done. It's the most heartbreaking, but it's also the most inspiring. And despite some of the real trauma and tragedy we face, I have never been more hopeful. I've never been more hopeful about where we can go because of all of you. So thanks for your hard work. Thanks for your leadership. Thanks for your courage. Thanks for leading Chicago to a better place. To all of our elected officials, thanks for believing in the folks who want to make their neighborhood safer. This is a huge step in the right direction, and I'm absolutely convinced our best years are ahead of us. The next couple years, we have a chance to make history and do something extraordinary here in Chicago. Thank you so much, and God bless. Have a great day.